Hi everybody, welcome to No Story is Sacred. If you've never listened before, basically we're four siblings who grew up talking about the art of storytelling. Now that we're adults, we're still talking about it, and we're inviting you to join the conversation. I'm Alex, and we're not who we say we are.
I'm Kat, and puppeteers.
I'm Brendan, and we should split up. We can cover more ground that way.
I'm Pippin, and I know better than to read Latin in front of the books.
Ooh.
The books are awful temperamental like that.
Just don't do it.
I like how your immediate go-to is the line from Buffy. My immediate go-to is always from The Mummy, which is, never read from the Book of the Dead!
Well, they literally spoke Latin.
I know. It's like, why? Why would you do that? I don't know what it says. Let me just read this out loud. Why?
No, why?
Well, we can get to that. To that.
We're gonna get to it.
Today, we're talking about the 2012 movie, The Cabin in the Woods, so spoilers abound.
Is it The Cabin in the Woods?
Yeah.
Correct.
Huh.
Yeah.
I double-checked.
Wow.
Because I also had that moment of, is it?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, according to Wikipedia.
Well, wait a second. I'm like trying to remember the opening, the opening words. You know, the title shot.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. It doesn't really matter in the end, but go on.
No, not really.
If you want specific content warnings about things we may talk about, check out the show notes on nostorysacred.com. Though, we're talking about horror, so,
Gore, violence, misogyny, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's cooked in.
College-age kids dying by the droves.
Sexual content.
Ooh,
Oh,
sexual
yeah.
boobies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Depictions of rural Americans as creepy. I don't know.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
to be fair, that's not that wrong.
It's true. I love you, rural America. Hi.
What up?
Although, does rural New Hampshire really count?
I mean...
We're like the Diet Coke of folksy Americana.
Whoa, well, folksy, yes. I would say we're not the Diet Coke, we're the Moxie.
Oh.
We're the shit no one wants to drink. We're too real. Our old gods are mountains and will fuck you up.
There's that one stone that somebody painted out as a frog.
One?
Several.
Or is it the same one and it just travels and follows you?
Aha.
Wow.
And of course, as we all know, Tom Savigny is a thief.
Tom Savigny is a thief.
We've learned this thanks to New Hampshire signs.
Just in someone's garage. Anyway, that's not any of the points that we should be making.
For those of you who've never watched The Cabin in the Woods, the summary according to Google is, when 5 college friends arrive at a remote forest cabin for a little vacation, little do they expect horrors that await them. One by one, the youths fall victim to backwoods zombies, but there's another factor at play. Two scientists are manipulating the ghoulish goings-on, but even as the body count rises, there is yet more at work than meets the eye.
Transformers.
Thank you.
More than meets the eye.
I was thinking the same thing.
Scientists?
They were using science.
They were using technology, Pippin. Come on.
No, they weren't the chem lab, were they? They were administrators.
The chem lab fucked up.
They
Listen,
did.
the chem lab...
No. The chem lab didn't fuck up.
They
Well,
did.
they did.
Well,
Wait,
no,
wait.
And they foreshadowed it.
Alex is right. Chem didn't fuck up.
They did,
The people who were supposed to clear the kid's stash fucked up.
but is that chem lab?
No.
Chem had the correct stash.
Chem had the correct doses, correct applications. It's just that the stoner had a hidden stash. And the
Shock me.
And it wasn't Chem Lab's job to clear that out.
No, it was like prep or whatever they were called.
But I think ChemLab could have adjusted the formulation, right? Right?
Only if they knew that it was, that something was up.
And Chem Lab didn't find out until after they killed the stoner.
Which, to be honest, I mean, like, you gotta stay on top of these things.
True.
And also, at the very beginning of the movie, like, we have, like, the two scientists talking, and they talk about how it was Chem that fucked up last time.
True.
Which was great.
But really, those two scientists were the ones that fucked up the most.
Scientists, Jesus Christ.
Well, I have a theory, but
Wait. So
Could
the
it be
point of the
bunnies?
story...
could be bunnies.
So this story, okay, so the very broad strokes for anybody who hasn't seen it. This is it is both a horror movie and a satire of horror movies. Where the reason why your typical slasher film is happening is because it is being engineered from the outside by writers, I mean scientists, in order
Truman Show,
to...
like...
Yeah, a Truman Show, like, in order to, ritually sacrifice, these college-age students or what have you.
Youths.
Youths.
So as to appease, the giant gods that live in the earth. As one does.
Which in no way are consumers.
Whoops. And then, if you don't appease the dark gods, they will, destroy the world. So you gotta do that. And there are multiple sites across the world. This is why there are multiple genres, or different countries do different genres of horror. But we're following the American one. America.
Which is the American slasher film.
Indeed. And we see the characters who start out as vaguely three-dimensional, in as much as you can get in the film, get broken down to their tropes through the machinations of this outside group, using chemicals, using
Drugs. Yeah, mostly drugs.
mostly drugs, using some weird stage design. They have a cabin that they have completely made, and it's blocked off with high security things, and then they block off the tunnel, or they would have blocked off the tunnel. There hadn't been a command from upstairs.
Yeah, that's part of my theory.
And there was a glitch.
There's a glitch.
Actually, when I was watching it, at one point a character disappears from screen for a while, and it's said that he was starting to mess around with the wiring near where he kind of fell.
Oh yeah, good call.
So it could have just been the well, we can get to that later, but it's the stoner, because of course it's the stoner. We already talked about how he messed up the system.
We already gave the spoiler warning. Everything's fair game.
Yeah.
And actually, as we talk
story.
about meta characters, does the stoner kind of represent like the people that watch horror movies and don't really watch it to get scared or anything like that? Just kind of watch it for the outside commentary?
I don't know. Like, here's the thing. The Fool is a character. He is a trope. The thing is that he's not just a trope. None of them are just tropes. The rest of them are reduced to that.
Yeah. Well, they also, because they had to include the Fool, they kind of forgot what another aspect of the Fool.
That's true. Oh yeah.
Are we getting tarot in here?
No,
no,
we're getting
we're-
into Shakespeare, bitches.
Because the fool in court is also the only one who can speak the unwanted truths.
He's the truth
Because
teller.
he's just a fool. No one has to listen to him. So when he goes, hey, the king is shit, everyone can just laugh. It's like, oh,
See,
fool. You're so foolish.
I've actually had to teach my children the difference between the fool and the clown in Shakespeare. Because there is one, but he's definitely the fool, and he's called out as the fool. And part of the whole ritual is, and I'm gonna get into this, part of the whole ritual is that every time, they're tracking to see every time one of these, characters die, there's a specific order, to a degree. So the whore, Madonna whore complex, has to die first. In American genre.
Yeah.
She has to die first because she's corrupt. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And then any number of other people can die, and then the virgin, Madonna whore, the virgin has to die, last or not die. She can survive. She can be
She's
just
optional.
She's a final girl. She just has to be punished.
Punished.
Has to suffer.
She has to suffer. That's right. She doesn't, that's right. She doesn't get punished per se. She has to suffer. Anyway, in this story, the fool ostensibly dies second. The people who are watching see him get carted off, but they don't see a body, which is hilarious because, of course, we all know that that's one of the things you have to watch out for. They don't see a body. They assume he's dead. They do the next part of the ritual, which has blood dripping onto onto a quote-unquote sacred stone that is meant to represent him. And that's when they get those first,
rumbles.
Yeah, they're earthquakes, where people are like, because the ancient gods can see all, and they're like, that fucker's not dead. What are you doing?
Because we as savvy film watchers would go like, hey, we didn't see a body.
Well, they're supposed to be savvy as well. That's the thing. But what they also have is hubris. The true human sin. What?
I also saw an interesting theory online that the stoner was not actually the fool, but he was the virgin.
Oh, good call. So it wouldn't have mattered what they fucking did.
And they fell into their terrible assumptions and tropes, and so would have fucked it up no matter what.
Which, to be fair, is kind of fine. So there's this whole thing where the monsters, they have to choose their own monster, right? It's all about choice, except it's not. We actually get to see all the monsters. Well, not all of them, but we get to see a huge number of horrific monsters. But we only see them in they are without, in their own way, they are without malice. They are without intent. They are just doing what they fucking do. Whereas the humans who are engineering this, who have chosen these people to be sacrificed, who have decided that their deaths are worthwhile, are mundane and making the choice over and over and over again to not just kill and torture these, innocent people, but also to be assholes about it. Yeah. To take it as all in a day's work, or of course it makes sense that they should die so that I can live, and other people. But and then and they're gambling on the outcomes.
I think it's kind of interesting that this gets reflected with the new hire security guard who is understands the severity of the mission and what's at stake, but does not like the kind of cavalier attitude of everybody. Like, he does not bet, right? But I don't think he drinks.
He doesn't. No. But he still engages in it. He's the one who's representing for the greater good.
He's the one who's complacent.
Which is in and of itself still not a good reason to kill people.
For the record, his name was Truman.
Goddamn!
Yeah.
So what we see is that we see these monsters that are supposed to be the actual villains, and what we're they're supposed to be the villains. And what we're seeing is that the villains were the friends we made along the way.
Also, shout out to the casting of Bradley Whitford as one of the scientists.
So good.
Who can play charming asshole so well, and is just riding high off his goodwill from the West Wing. Which is another reason he was cast in Get Out. I know for a fact. He said in an interview that, mostly white people look at him and go like, we can trust Bradley Whitford. Josh Lyman would never do us wrong. He was for us. So we look at him and we trust him.
Oh.
And so then when he goes bad or something, we're like, why did this? And I love that Bradley Whitford's just leaning into that.
I think that this is genuinely one of the best opening sequences of a film in modern history. In terms of, you get the absurdity, which is where comedy comes in, of, this is a horror movie. You get the mundanity of evil. What you get is the two scientists. Again, I feel like they're not scientists. We get the two administrators.
I think that's closer.
Yeah.
Yeah. What they are, they're project leads, is what they are.
No.
I mean, to be fair, this
is... did they have scrum boards?
To be fair, this is the day it's happening. We don't know what sort of science they may have been doing leading up to this.
That's a very good point. And we do know that the one guy, the older guy, apparently has some electrical engineering chops. Yeah. So
he probably used to be a in the field doing the
That's a
doing
good
the work
point.
and got promoted.
he probably created the basis of the modern tech inside that facility.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's old enough that he probably was like a young man in the 70s, got to wire up everything there.
I bet he did. I bet he, like, his personal baby was the vent system.
Ooh.
That's what I'm betting.
Watch a master at work.
See? Because he knows how to make it work. You know what? I do think that these guys might be engineers. They got an engineering vibe to me.
Yeah.
Project lead engineers. Okay, so...
They're SFX guys.
Oh, yeah. They're not security. We saw that. And they're not chem lab. Because chem lab, Jesus. They wear lab coats.
Chem was doing their best.
It wasn't Chem Lab's fault, guys.
Well,
Sure.
It was last time.
Are we going to talk about people's past mistakes?
But the opening scene is two guys. It looks like an office comedy. They're, bitching about their days. One of them is like trying to get, Bradley Whitford is talking to his buddy about how, they're trying for a baby, except his wife has put like all the child locks already on. There's some good-natured joshing with Chem Lab. We find out that Sweden's failed. And then
some good foreshadowing as well.
It's a walk and talk.
Where Bradley Whitford's comfortable.
It's a golf cart and talk. They're wearing white shirts with black ties. I mean, it's it's old school NASA. Like, that vibe.
Yeah.
Like Apollo 13 mission type shit with pocket protectors.
I mean, Houston, they had a problem.
They did have a problem. There's no music. It's just, sort of banter. You get a pause while Bradley Whitford goes through his, like, face acting. When he's like, no, but really, I need a beer. Please help me can you come over to my place with a electric drill so we can free my alcohol?
I do really love Bradley Whitford.
He's so good. And then suddenly there's the sound cue of horror. Boom, 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 boom. And a scream. And Cabin in the Woods flashes in the screen in a huge font.
Which is a reference to another horror movie.
It's a reference to a horror trope, I mean.
No, it's a direct reference to an actual horror movie.
Oh, is it really?
That smash cut to the title.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I did some fucking research. For this movie I don't like.
Way to go, Pippin.
But
I'm proud of you.
Brilliant, but it also, again, speaks to comedy and horror being very kissing cousins. Go on.
For both, as we've talked about before, it's the subversion of expectation.
Yup.
It's just for yucks versus for not yucks.
Comedy is a breaking of the tension. Horror is a breaking of the tension, but the results are different.
Both genres are gunning for your emotions, just different ones.
Hell yeah.
Which I also wondering about is why there's so much supernatural romance, because romance is another genre gunning for your emotions.
Or something.
Hey. We should watch Venom is what we should watch.
Yeah, we goddamn should. Now that's a romance.
Anyway. So.
This is one of those movies, this is one of those stories where I don't actually have a lot of changes. I just really want to learn from it.
It's true. It's true. It's going to be a really hard one.
Things, really, that I want to address.
Do we need to go into the plot at all anymore? Or do we
I
just
feel like
need
we
to...
have.
I mean, we didn't do the twist.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Go for the twist.
Let's just cover that first, just to make sure that our dozens of fans...
Listen, we don't know. People could just be here for our really weird summary explanations and then tune out the moment we try to make the changes. They're like, no, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Listen, we just gotta do this so that my boyfriend is like, wait a second, why didn't you do that? So, that's why we're doing this.
Wait, is he listening?
Yeah, he listens to all of our episodes. Not currently. Fuck no.
Listen. He needs to know that I watched this movie and took notes. We can continue.
Go on.
But we have the main characters go to the cabin.
The main characters who I all find incredibly charming. I would hang out with them.
Yeah.
Oh, hell
They're
yeah.
nice college kids.
really smart kids. Like,
Yeah.
they were going places.
Chris Hemsworth
Jules
being
was-
American.
Yeah! The endangered species of gorgeous man. Jules is pre-med.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love them so much.
The stoner is clever in his own fucking way.
Yeah.
He's clearly like an engineer of some sort because he basically created a disguised bong out of a travel coffee cup.
Hell yeah. And he's also a philosopher.
Yep.
You know, why will the cops not stop this man? Because they fear him. And what he knows.
They do.
They do.
I mean, I've known several genius engineer types that were also huge stoners,
Oh,
and philosophers.
Oh shit! Electrical engineering. Remember, he was able to figure out the elevator.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
So there you go.
So what? Do you think he's a double major or engineering philosophy?
Sure.
Fuck
Stranger
yeah!
Things.
I've met them.
Look, I'm just telling you guys, discrete mathematics and philosophy have a lot more in common than you might think.
Oh,
I mean,
I
yeah.
want to make a joke somewhere about mathematics just being messy.
I thought you were gonna make something about discrete.
hey.
Sorry.
Actually, for the couple of math nerds in the audience, they know what's up.
Anyway, go on.
Anyway, so they go to this cabin in the woods.
Harbinger.
Yeah, I was gonna say they ignore the Harbinger on the way, who says,
Yep.
don't go up there.
Mordecai.
Mordecai with his Confederate flag in the window.
Hell yeah. What? And his creepy actual belief in the old ones?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
His over-the-top belief. The other ones believe in him in the old ones as well, but his is over-the-top, so it's tacky, and so the engineers make fun of him for it. Again, I love this movie.
They also ignored the Harbinger.
Oh my god, they
true.
both groups ignored the Harbinger.
Like, the Harbinger's like, hey guys, the fool sassed me. He's not,
He's not what he seems.
Yep. Well, that might go into one of my little tweaks.
Okay.
Or at least a theory tweak. I don't know if it's actually a real change I'd do because, again, this movie is a lot of fun.
But wait, let's get to the twist, folks.
So they do a whole bunch of horror movie tropes. They pick the form of their destroyer. Because they go into the basement where the creepy basement with all the creepy stuff. And whichever one they mess around with versus the form of their destroyer.
I mean, there's a seashell in there.
Yep,
He was
does
so
not get
close.
so
He was holding
close.
it in his hands.
I really wanted to see a mermaid.
Yeah. But instead they read from the diary of the girl.
Book of the Dead.
Yes. And so their horror movie is going to be creepy. It's not zombies.
No, they are zombie, but it's
They
a
are zombies,
subset
but-
of zombie.
Listen, I'm just saying because there was the debate.
Yep.
So it was creepy hillbilly murder cult family. I think.
Zombie.
Dead.
Yeah.
Congratulations to
pain worshipping? I
maintenance.
think it was pain worshipping.
Yo,
Maintenance
pain worshippers.
and
the
the
intern.
intern, who was a Joss Whedon collectible.
Yes. It's rude to call them that, but yes. Tom Lenk. So then they all get murdered. We see how it gets manipulated behind the scenes, rock slides, and they drop gas. They drop the weapon because of electrical shock. Mm-hmm. I don't think to pick it back up again because drugs, and also I imagine at that point stress and adrenaline.
Yeah.
They all get murdered violently. Well, no. Technically, Chris Hemsworth doesn't get murdered. He jumps the ravine into the force field.
And then dies. But it's
And
a very
then dies.
Jock move. So that's why I think that's why that still counts.
But it was, oh man, that plan would have worked if, they
hadn't stopped me.
If they didn't have a force field.
I was also reading a debate online over whether the hawk early on that ran to the force field was too ridiculous. And it's like, no, that needed to be there to establish it was
To establish that there was there. And also to establish that they are entering a trap.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also, dramatic irony because we see it, but they are within the tunnel. They don't see it.
Yeah. And then,
That's just good storytelling. Like, that's just...
yeah, no, that's, yeah. Then they're all dead. The final girl,
Is busy
Dana.
Dana. Oh, hey, Dana! Get it?
Yeah.
Ghostbusters. It's basically getting the shit kicked out of her in a way that is entirely, like, she should have died. Like, straight up.
Yeah, in the background, because everyone's partying in the science headquarters, we see her on the screens. She's, like, vomiting blood, which is never a good sign.
Very fresh blood. Vomiting fresh blood. Not good.
Bad. Well, any kind of blood is bad, because if it's been there for long enough, it's like, what happened? Anyway.
Blood. It's part of you. Keep it where it should be, on the inside.
Bleeding internally, so that's fine, because that's where blood is.
All blood should remain in its original containers.
Your blood should socially distance from other people.
Blood should go around and around, and air should go in and out.
Any variation is bad. Anyway, so, and they're celebrating, and the red phone goes off.
Wait. Before the red phone goes off, there's a inkling of foreshadowing where maintenance is like, fuck you guys. We didn't fuck up the tunnel blow. We got a note from upstairs.
We never got the
they never got the call.
Oh,
yeah.
There was a glitch.
And the reason they didn't get the call was because the old ones knew that the dude was dead.
I have a theory about the old ones, but let's get through this plot.
Okay.
Yeah, yep.
They get the call, something's fucked up, the stoner lives, and saves, Dana. The stoners, by the way, is
with
Marty.
The telescopic bong.
Yes, so it's also got some, structural integrity, that bong.
Yeah.
Good job.
Marty, is that like Scooby?
Yes.
Shaggy. Shaggy, that's it.
Shaggy, yeah.
He was a Shaggy. He was a Shaggy.
No. Have you only just put together the goals of...
Fuck off. Oh my god. Go on.
Come on.
Get on my level.
I don't even go here. He gets her to where he was hiding out in this elevator shaft. No, not the elevator yet. In the side space where the zombie he pulled apart with a trowel. Which still going for it, cause what does zombie care?
Zombie don't care.
They get into the elevator to go down, cause only way to go is down.
Oh, by the way, this is, the Buckners are the zombie redneck torture family.
Zombie redneck torture family.
There you go.
And
it's
they
very
go
different
down.
from regular zombies.
Very different. Completely different. And they go down into the elevator, which is one of the more visually striking bits of the movie. Cause they go and they see all the things that could have.
Oh, yeah.
Been there. The creepy ballerina.
Mm-hmm. That's the Sugar Plum Fairy.
The Sugar Plum Fairy. They see a ghoul ghost thing.
Werewolf.
They see the werewolf.
They see a pastiche on Hellraiser, the Hell Priest.
They see Fornicus,
Pinhead.
Lord of Bondage and Pain. You shall address him as such.
I have to say, actually, he's my favorite of all the evils because he and Patience from the zombie redneck torture family are really, I think, indicative and the unicorn. Fuck, I love so many of them. Are really all indicative of that fact that these creatures are in and of themselves weirdly innocent. They didn't choose to kill these humans. They just are. They have no animus against any of the people involved. But their fucking job is to kill people. Or be weird.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
What they do.
So a unicorn, of course, is, a symbol of purity and innocence. Patience Buckner, has that, she's the young girl, zombie, hillbilly, redneck. And then we have, Fornicus, is that his name?
Fornicus, Lord of Bondage and Pain. He's in the credits as such.
I see. So, Fornicus, also just has, the really deep look where he's, he's not attacking. That's not his deal. He's just watching them quietly.
He'll torture you when he gets to you.
Yeah, exactly. But it's not about you.
He's going to get
That's his
you.
thing.
Yeah.
It's the pleasure and the pain. It's their whole deal.
It's at this point they sort of realize part of what's going on. And it's like, oh, they made us choose. And I think that's when they get mad about it.
Yep.
I actually really appreciated the part where Dana's smashing her hand against the window and it just gets all bloody because she's all bloody.
Yeah. She's had
a very good visual.
Day.
She's it's a good visual.
They get down.
And that was actually a really tricky shot in the movie. It took them a long time to do that. Yeah, I watch some behind the scenes stuff
Oh,
too,
shit.
Kevin.
I gotta
Me
watch
and
some
Brad,
behind-
we're behind.
Like-
we're on this.
Like a lot of the people in those boxes
Yeah.
are all like cast and crew members and,
Really?
part of a day of makeup. Yeah,
Well, you gotta save on extras.
it's true.
Oh yeah, watching a behind the something, some of the monsters in there were meant to be a tie-in with the video game that I don't remember the name of, but it never actually, came to fruition.
I would play that fucking video game.
No, you wouldn't.
I don't do video games. I would play that one.
No, you wouldn't.
Fuck you. Don't
Listen, we've
don't be
known you a very long time.
Don't be raining on my lies.
So they get down to the basement. The soldiers come up, try to take them out. They hunker in place in a control booth, and that's when they initiate the purge.
Okay,
Which yes.
here's my first issue. Or rather, my only plot issue. Except it's not really. Like, I understand, you gotta do shortcuts, that shit's fun. But, it makes no goddamn sense to purge all of the creatures into the lobby. Purge them into fucking space. Purge them into a volcano. Why the lobby? And it's a big red button.
You're asking who's being purged.
Oh, goddamn.
That was a button that the old ones insisted be there.
Oh my god, what if the old ones were just like, it'd be a great idea what if we just change reality and make that appear?
'Cause fuck you, that's why.
Because fuck you. Because you know what? The old ones, they got their own shit going on. The idea, the hubris in thinking that we could figure out and, make
Appease
the old ones is just such bullshit. They sent in ringers, man. That's what that was about.
So all the monsters come down into the lobby area and start a monstrous rampage, because that's who they are, as people.
Not people.
Not a robot.
I'm broadening my definition of people.
And actually, there was a robot among the monsters there. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
my
there's
God.
like a robot scorpion sort of thing.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that was good. I liked that one. I liked all the monsters, to be honest. They were pretty cool.
And there was a clown, because of course. There was a mermaid.
Merman.
It's a merman.
It was a merperson. I'm not going to gender them.
Merfolk.
Yeah. Who killed Bradley Whitford, thus getting his wish.
Yep. Don't wish shit in front of the old ones.
Right?
Why do we keep having to teach people this? Please just learn it.
Let's compile a list here. It's don't read Latin in front of the books or from the books.
Rule one.
Don't wish in front of old ones.
Don't do it.
Avoid wishes in general, really.
I mean, there's specific times and places for wishes. Birthday wishes. Wishes that you throw, when you put a penny into a wishing well.
Wishes can bring problems such that you regret them.
True. I mean, when you get into the realm of, safe wishes, that's a whole different deal. However, there's also just don't do it at all. And that's where we have the old ones. The blue ones.
So
Everyone in the facility basically dies.
Yes.
But Dana and,
Marty.
God, Marty.
They all have to be punished. Everybody in the facility has to be punished.
Well, put a pin on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pin.
Yeah. So they escape and get even further down through broken walls. They kill, the scientist who isn't Bradley Whitford.
Yeah.
Thus showing that one of the monsters is man.
Ooh, nice. Oh, it's your victims turning against you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And specifically Dana who kills him. Largely by accident because he showed up out of nowhere in the dark.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair to Dana, she can treat every single person in that facility as a hostile.
That's true.
Oh, true.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, they end up at the, main sacrificial altar, and, we have the administrator come in.
Explain the whole deal. The importance of sacrifice. Gives me a nice view of all the sacrificial stones, which I kept looking away from every time they actually showed up before then.
Why?
It was an accident! So I didn't know what each human figure looked like until the
Are
very
you
end.
serious?
Yes!
Okay.
Cat.
Okay.
They also tended to show up after a horrific thing happened.
I mean,
so
I
very
guess.
often I wasn't looking at the screen because I don't like this.
But yeah, a fight, no, not really a fight ensues, but like Dana almost kills Marty to save the world.
Well, because the logic does sound good.
I mean, the needs of the many, the needs of the one.
Yeah. Surely.
But yeah, like, a werewolf attacks Dana. The gun misfires, but then, the administrator is about to kill, and who was the administrator played by?
She was played by Susan Sarandon.
No!
No!
That's not Susan Sarandon. What? Dude, it was Ridley.
Sigourney Weaver. Listen. I was pulling up the IMDb page because she wasn't on the initial thing.
Wow.
And a lot happened at once.
Oh, she's the director.
She was in Aliens, man.
Anyway.
Another cross-genre classic.
She's about to kill Marty. But then, Patience Buckner, the last remaining hillbilly redneck murder zombie, stabs her in the back and they plummet to
axes her in the head.
axes her in the head.
Which, by the way,
Same
is symbolic of the fact that the administrators have been using them as well. Yeah, have been using these nightmare creatures. Really, they are as much in their own way victims as everyone else. Because remember, zoology is a department. Zoology is a department. So they've been like breeding these things. They've been like studying them. That's a shitty ass zoo they got down there.
Hi, I'm Joe, the Zombie King.
Oh my god, I was about to make a Carol joke. Oh my god, the administrator's Carol.
So anyway, everyone dies.
Everyone dies, the old ones rise, and the world is ended. For us.
The world ushers in a new dark age.
Yeah, well, for
Hooray.
humans. Yeah. But as Dana says, I think it's Dana, she's like, you know what? Maybe we had our shot, and this is what we took with it. Like, this is what we did, and it was fucking awful. We deserve this. There.
Though I'm not sure that decision should have been made by someone who's had such a bad night as Dana.
I mean, but on the other hand, should the decision be made by, these fucking engineers?
True.
You know, it all comes, there's a lot, guys.
So, I have a theory.
Could be bunnies.
It could be bunnies. But part of my theory is that, it wasn't just the college kids who were being set up as a sacrifice. Mm-hmm. But it was also the scientists themselves. By an even higher power, because those exist.
Upstairs.
Yeah, the upstairs. And, the old gods are tired and bored, with what they've been given so far, because it's always the same thing.
It is.
Always the same thing.
See, this is exactly what my story idea thing was going to be, you people.
Listen, you already ruined my idea last night, so fuck you too.
Well, because here's the thing. I'm gonna jump in here.
Go.
Because I'm imagining just because like the ending, like the giant hand is cool and all and expensive, but like I'm just picturing like they're just kind of waiting for the apocalypse to happen, and then like just the comedic like little like green light goes on, like ding. It's like, wait, what? What the hell's going on, you guys? Like just right after the director dies. I don't know. Just having that little like anti-climax right at the end after we had this giant murder fest of the entire facility, and now it's Dana and Marty having to figure out what the hell to do next with what the hell's going on here.
Well, we don't know that isn't what happened. There is a gigantic hand, but
we didn't see a body.
We don't know what the old ones are planning to do, and we didn't see bodies, that's right.
The giant hand might just must be lifting them up and popping them on the ground, like, and then giving a thumbs up and going back in, like, oh,
here you go.
Huh, neat.
Dana and Marty being like, I didn't see that coming.
When I first watched this movie, that's the thing that like my creative brain was saying like would be like a little twist at the end. Because there's like a couple ways you can do it. You can do what they did, which was, okay, fuck it. The world ends because the movie's over.
Yeah.
That's an allegory for what was going on here the entire time. But we have another thing where it's like, every once in a while, in order to make the genre fresh, you have to basically destroy everything and start anew.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you have the people who have experienced all of it, Dana and Marty, are going to have to like figure out how to rebuild the genre from that point. Or maybe totally subvert it and make something new and interesting, like urban fantasy. Yeah, magic comes back in the world. Cool.
The old ones demand and solar punk.
Old ones demand hope punk.
Yes. Here's the thing also, and this actually ties in a little bit to the movie Ready or Not, which is, so I'm basically stealing my theory from that for this, which is that, we only have the administrator's word for what the old ones want, right?
True.
So this has been going on for generations, okay? What if the old ones didn't want all this shit? What if they're like, this has gotten really convoluted? What's with these fucking ancient stones made out of styrofoam? Nobody's asking for this. We wanted a nice barbecue, and that's it. Just some common prayers. You didn't need to go through all this. This is so over the top and so much, it would be more difficult to undo it, to like talk to you about it. Let's just scrap it and start over. We'll give better directions next time.
Directions.
Oh shit, it's like a Noah's flood situation. What? Yes. You know what? Fuck this up. We're just gonna start over.
Was the old one speaking to Marty the whole entire time?
Might have been. Yeah. Fuck yeah, remember? Marty's the one who kept having like these gigantic revelations. Puppets, man. Puppeteers.
The old one put Marty's stash back.
Hey, yeah, that'd be pretty good. Because they never confirmed that they actually missed it. They just said we must have missed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
True.
Old ones made the purge button. Old ones gave Marty his Kronk back.
Right. Old ones wanted a new goddamn movie.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I'd have liked having Marty suddenly rewiring the button for the purge button to help out. Kind of have like both him and Dana.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, participate in the purge.
The purge.
Although his thing right at the end is like, I'm sorry I let a werewolf attack you.
Sorry, I almost killed you to save the world.
They probably wouldn't have actually done it.
Yeah.
But man, I like the idea of ending on them trying to figure out what to do next.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what really needs to happen next is they both go to the hospital. Because that adrenaline is gone.
Not that there might not be any hospitals left.
Well, there's that. Well, so Dana's dead. We're just gonna have to accept that Dana's dead.
I'll miss her.
Yeah. That was sad.
All right, well, who else has stuff to talk about? Yeah. I think we're kind of like stepping on each other here.
Well, my thing was just going to do like wanting to see like a kind of like a side story of under one of the movie tropes of bringing back a survivor from the previous movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
And the rule is they can't survive past the third one.
Oh. That's actually why I stopped watching the Scream movies. They got rid of the fool.
Yeah, because he kept on surviving.
Yep. Can't be having that.
And that's not how horror movies work.
Yeah, no. Like, just a quick, nod to that trope, if she survives, we bring her back in next year, and if she survives that one, then she has to die, you know?
Or even just someone popping up and the scientists going, like, what the fuck are they doing there?
Well, Sigourney Weaver being the administrator suggests that is in fact exactly what happened. She was a final girl in Aliens. Oh, yeah. And she understands why this has to happen. Also, she wears creepy gloves all the time, so who knows what happened to her hands.
Also, looping back around to my thing about changing the genre up, maybe one thing that happens post Cabin in the Woods event, scenario, whatever, is we get, instead of, individuals being punished for their hubris, it's groups or societal things getting punished instead. Thus we get things like the works of Jordan Peele.
Ooh.
Nice.
Where racism was the monster all along. And humans. Fuck them.
Yeah.
How do you put racism in the elevator?
Just Bradley Whitford. Who I'm sure is a very nice person, not actually. He just looks like the sort of anyway.
Wow.
There was no
with that white hair.
there was no way you could have saved that, Pip.
Listen, no, if it's racism personified, it's probably actually Rob Lowe. Wow.
Oh.
Throwing shade at all sorts of West Wing actors.
Woo!
Listen, Bradley Whitford seemed to have actually paid attention to the show. Not sure what Rob Lowe was doing.
Yeah,
I have been ignoring Rob Lowe for some time now.
Fair.
Okay, wait. So, I've already mentioned the thing that... I had two things. I've mentioned the purge button. You guys very excellently saved that for me. My other thing, of course, as you know, but the listening audience may not know, is the fact that their ancient ritual fucking stones look like they've been carved by some fucking intern using styrofoam.
Listen.
And I just don't know why they did not put in even $1.25 in terms of CGI to make that look better.
Listen. The intern's name was Ronald, and he was trying his best.
I'm just saying, if this is the kind of shitty work that they are putting in to appease the old ones, maybe it's no wonder that the old ones are not fucking appeased.
Notice how they weren't.
Damn it! I just don't like it, Pippin. Don't like it. So those are my things. Does anybody have, like, one or two things that they are,
Well,
the nitpicky?
I think, Pip, you had something. Right? You had a brilliant idea, Pippin?
I had a brilliant idea. That isn't the nitpicky things that Kat wants me to do, because, again, I don't care enough about horror to nitpick it.
Wow.
Like, it's a great genre. I appreciate what it does. It's not my thing. But earlier on in the movie, it mentions how part of what has to happen is if they don't transgress, they can't be punished.
Mm-hmm.
So what if they don't transgress?
What exactly did they transgress? Like just ignoring the Harbinger?
Oh, no.
Not just ignoring the Harbinger. They went into the cellar and messed around. That was what kicked it off, and then they were manipulated into further.
There's other people's property. There's sexy times outside of marriage.
Yeah.
Also, just inappropriate sexuality because youth.
Though not
Well drugged.
that. Yeah. Though in the grand scheme of things, it's not that inappropriate.
I mean, it was more like socially embarrassing. Like, that sexy dancing and making Marty uncomfortable, that wasn't necessary.
Oh, but she was drugged. And to the best of our knowledge, the only person that Jules has slept with in that group is Kurt. Or possibly at all. So, calling her a whore, one, slut-shaming. Two, not as accurate as I think they wanted it to be.
Also, in terms of, like, you know, like she was in a committed, you know, relationship with her boyfriend, as opposed to Dana, who had been, unfairly seduced, I should say, by a professor and somehow was blaming herself for it. I don't know. Like, there was...
I mean, when you're abused, you blame yourself for things.
I know, I'm just saying, like, in terms of who's, like, got the risque sexuality going on.
It's true.
You know?
But she's was considering messing around with Holden, who had a husband's bulge, which is a hilarious euphemism no matter who you are. But, so what if they don't transgress? They never transgress. No matter how hard, the scientists try, they just keep not doing it.
Like,
Not doing it.
why won't they go into the basement?
It's fucking creepy.
It's a creepy basement.
They just close the door.
Oh, that's weird. Let's put a chair over it.
That's right up there with the weird wind. Oh, hey, you know what though? That did happen because there was the mirror, the the one-way mirror.
Yeah.
And, they refused to, participate in that.
Yeah. Refuse to be creepy about it.
What if they just play Dungeons and Dragons all weekend and then go home?
Right?
Or
They just
or they get to the cabin and see like, wow, this thing is actually kind of derelict, and
they stay in the RV.
Yeah. Or they go back and like, actually, let's just turn around and
Oh shit, there's a cave in, you guys.
let's just park right here. Or like this, let's like park over here so that like when the road crews come on by to help us.
Yeah. So, but if all that's happening, there still needs to be the ritualistic sacrifice. And this ties into Bren's thing about the scientists being the sacrifice. 'cause they all start turning on each other.
I love it.
And
I like it.
The true horrors, man.
The Chem Lab, man. They fucked us over.
The true horror was the friends we made along the way.
The true horror is bureaucracy.
The friends we made along the way was a true horror all along.
And so we can still have the creepy monsters, but instead of going up, they go down. And maybe they get released into the real world because bureaucracy still fucks up. And so then they go out into the world without any...
Oh.
And that's how it ends. Them going out into the world, monsters, without any limitations. Oversight and limitations.
Oh, I love that though, because you can get like this really nice end shot of Patience Buckner doing what she did in the movie when she comes out of the elevator, sort of looking up and around. Yeah. Because again, this is a new space, but she could be doing that outside and seeing the star. Oh my god, seeing the stars! These creatures have been living in captivity. They are dangerous, but you have to respect them, and they are not pets. Carol.
Hey guys, I've made a monster rescue.
Lonely Monster Rescue Society. But yeah, I think that'd be an interesting way to do this.
I like that.
Okay, I think that's all of us.
I think
Did
so.
we all say something about it?
Yeah.
I think we said multiple things and kind of went over each other a little bit.
Change anything, or did you just complain about?
I just complained bitterly. That was mine. I don't actually want to change much. I like what you guys. I understood the purge button, like what it was doing for the story. I was just a little like, why? You guys fix that. And styrofoam. I still hate it, and I'm never getting over it ever.
How about this? A throwaway line. We had to make the stone tablet out of styrofoam this year. What happened to the stonemason we heard? He got sick.
I would take a lampshading. I would take a lampshade line. I would be happy with it. But yeah. But otherwise, I just really like learning from this. This is one of those movies I'm happy to just watch over and over again.
We have to replace them every year, or
it's cheaper to do that than to scrub them with a power washer.
Well, you can't risk cross-contamination.
Yeah.
So true. That's a good point.
Or they get sent to the old ones.
Oh, yeah, maybe the old ones take the stones.
That's a good point. Old ones are tired of fucking... Yeah, go on. Sorry.
Their storage room is full up of these things and they do not want them anymore. What was I going to say? Oh, I was reading online how there are some people who deeply dislike The Cabin in the Woods.
Really?
Because they feel like it's making fun of horror.
It is.
But not in a we like this kind of way.
Oh.
Like it's disparaging horror as a genre and it doesn't actually know what it's talking about. And I read those, I'm like, some people need to calm down.
They're the guys who get angry at Vanessa Villiers and her Oscar song. There's those kind of people.
From SNL?
Yeah, you know, the white male rage, white male rage, white male rage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
Like, they're the same kind of folks who get mad at that.
Yeah.
And really, if you're getting really mad, like genuinely mad at a movie...
Stop it.
Just disconnect.
It's not worth it.
Just make fun of Joker like the rest of us.
Right? Also, I like to think that because I've watched The Cabin in the Woods, I never need to watch another horror movie ever again, because I've really watched all of them at once.
Well, that's old school horror. Now you can do new horror.
New horror, Pip.
Yeah.
Nah.
Midsummer.
No, I don't.
Midsummer.
Us.
Ready or Not.
Fuck off.
I keep on meaning to watch Ready or Not.
It's so fucking good. We'll watch it.
No, by we, that does not include me.
Everybody but Pippin. The best kind of party.
Holy shit. Fuck you. Fuck you, and also, fuck the horse you rode in on.
First of all, Roach doesn't deserve that. Sorry.
Anyway, I don't do horror.
Yeah, you watch.
And the fact that we keep doing this.
Also, you watched Aliens, Pip.
Also, you watch Supernatural.
Okay. Alright, no. One, Aliens is a different movie.
Aliens is an action movie.
Yes, in the sequel to Alien, which my brain does not read as horror. My brain reads it as science fiction. And in terms of supernatural, I started watching it in broad daylight with people around. And then I could inoculate myself because the rules of horror in television is different than the rules of horror in movies. In television, people survive.
That's true. That's true, because you can't really have a show if they die.
Except for the women in Supernatural.
Well, yes.
Oh!
Non-women are flammable. Supernatural taught me this. But also in TV shows, you can learn their specific horror cues.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So you can know when something's up. And that's why when I was watching Supernatural, I was fine. But the episode that scared me the most, after being, inoculated and fine, was somewhere in like season 4 or 5 or something, where the monster wasn't supernatural.
Oh.
And I got freaked the fuck out.
Yeah.
Because that went against the rules that I had established for the show.
So X-Files is a big no for you.
Probably.
Hey, what's your thought on cannibalism?
Hilarious.
Oh, in which case have I got a film for you?
Unless it's in a horror movie.
Damn it! It's historical.
Cannibalism jokes far funnier than I should probably.
Damn it!
Funnier than I probably should find them. But, as a Catholic, what's a little cannibalism between,
gods.
gods.
Okay, let's move on here. We're rambling.
Good, I was gonna make a really inappropriate joke and I probably shouldn't today.
On Easter.
Wow. Alright, so do we got a game?
We do have a game. Ooh. I decided, because, arbitrary why notness.
Because you're the editor.
We're gonna do, yep, pretty much.
To hurt me.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Pep. We're gonna do genre shift, where we're gonna take the Cabin in the Woods genre and shift it over to some other genre.
But it's already a genre shift.
Yeah, but, so I'll kick us off here just to kind of get your thoughts going here. What if you did something that was akin to, shit, I just realized this is just gonna be Last Action Hero, but action movie, Cabin in the Woods, where you just, it is just, it's Last Action Hero.
It is.
So then,
so you shift Cabin in the Woods over to action, it becomes Last Action Hero, where you just kind of recognize the tropes for what they are and steer into it fully, man.
Isn't it like Tucker and Dale versus Evil, though?
That's more horror, and I was also talking about about that movie last night as well.
Yeah, and I said I hadn't watched it because it was probably still too scary for me.
Alan Tudyk.
It really isn't. That's scary.
Okay, here's the thing. There's reasonable scary and too scary for me.
Alright. So if you were to make this an action, you would get Last Action Hero.
Pretty much, because then you'd just have like, you'd have like maybe like the everyman, whatever, blank slate character be transported to the action world somehow, cross through a tunnel, or maybe we're doing like a Truman Show-esque encounter where we just bring in like some sort of normie into Action City and we're filming the results. It's a reality TV show or something where all action movie tropes are true, and we have this one person who's maybe acting as the audience surrogate, I don't know, is having to basically comment on what the hell's going on here.
I would watch that, to be honest. Like if they did a Truman Show horror movie where all the horror like they're setting up a horror movie, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Right. So, well, I'm gonna go for gonna hop right in.
Yep.
Also, Pep, I'm sorry, I love you, but I'm going to snatch this from you. Rom-com.
Damn it!
Son of a bitch!
2 for fucking 1. God damn. Fuck you.
Well, you go, because I was having a thought about it when you snatched it from me.
You'll probably be able to elaborate, but imagine all the setup for a rom-com, that like get you into that like little world that they're in, and like part of the setup. We just called what's her name's boss and told her to either send her to a European country that we set up, or she is fired, or to do a story. Is she qualified to do a story? No.
Are you doing a Christmas Prince horror?
No,
Alex.
No, I'm doing the genre change where they're setting up for things like the Christmas Prince.
Yeah, the background.
Yeah,
that's what I meant.
Scientists in the basement.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. Like, it's not.
It's not horror, but it is scientists in the basement doing the fucking Christmas Prince. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Like,
or the old ones get mad.
Like, do you know how much work, Kat? Do you know how much work it is to set up an entire autonomous nation that is only 5 square miles?
That's why the sequel's all about the economy, because it was fucked.
Here's the thing about this premise as a rom-com. Isn't this what The Bachelor is?
Ooh.
No.
And other related reality shows?
Love is Blind, yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
shit.
yeah, but like there you have like 20 people. Oh, like they're like here it's like, and now overturn the boat.
And also, there's only one bed.
Oh my god, they were roommates.
And you know what they both have? Cabins. One's a different kind. They're both fuck cabins, but one's a different kind of fuck cabin.
Wait, what's that great English joke where there's a qualitative difference between a house in the country and a cabin in the woods?
There's a linguist thing of a cottage in the forest as opposed to a cabin in the woods.
A cottage in the forest. Technically, they're the same fucking thing, but we all know in one of them you're getting fucked, and in the other one you're getting fucked in a different way.
Also, the difference between a butt dial and a booty call. Words are technically the same.
Yeah.
Technically the same.
Yeah. So Pippa, what were you going to do with the rom-com?
Well, mostly I got distracted thinking through the whole reality show thing. Because are we not still the old gods, displeased with how, it's been going? And now I'm wondering why there hasn't been a rom-com set in a reality show.
Good question.
Right at Pip.
Too real.
Well, listen.
Too unbelievable.
Well, there was that, I want to say the Vietnamese version of, The Bachelor, where two of the
women!
bachelorettes, went off together.
They fell in love.
They got together at the end.
It was so good.
Or rom-com, or the guy falls for, or like the first girl who gets like booted off because it's a choice by the producers.
Yeah, but that's I don't know a lot about The Bachelor and stuff like that, but I think that's actually happened. In terms of a plot twist. I don't know if it's real, but in terms of a plot twist, I believe it's actually happened.
Yep.
But anyway, here's the thing. Since Alex cruelly stole rom-com from me.
I apologize.
Just from me. Not from Kat.
Wow. Okay. All right. Fucking wow.
Instead, I can make it a musical.
No!
And suddenly
Yes.
I end up with a Phantom of the Opera.
Yes, you do.
Cause there's a creepy guy in the basement manipulating everyone upstairs and people die.
That's true. That's true.
And I refuse to elaborate any further.
That's fair. Okay,
Okay, I got one.
right.
Mine is, I want to make this a historical. I want to know what they were doing before shit got real. With like, it doesn't have to go as far as steampunk, but we're talking age of electricity. Just imagine the kind of, changes that went on.
Oh man, the first time they figured out they could use that bit of electricity to make someone drop a weapon.
That seems
Game changer.
very old school. Cause you know what that is? That's, oh god, not mesmerism. But around the same time period when they realized there was that one electrical engineer who could use a bit of electricity and make a gorilla's arm twitch. And it's like, life, you see? Electricity is important. And that was like a traveling show. So that has a very old school feel to it. Like, you know, a nod to the old timers. So I'd like to have a, you know, Victorian / Edwardian, same story, just figuring out the science and maybe having the science fuck up. And like, that's the story. But thank God in the end, we did it, guys. We killed everybody.
Whew.
Right.
It was a close one.
It was a close one this time. Whew.
But we murdered people.
And actually, it's the electricity newfangled inventions that save the day.
Yes.
Because the old gods are appeased by something new.
That's true.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, they are. But you know, that was a big question. Would the old, like, should we be doing this? Old gods aren't going to be pleased by this. And then, you know, the old gods are just like, you know what this is? This is fun. This is fun, guys.
But then they
Good job.
You know, the old gods should have just been taken to a fun theme park.
Yeah.
And
Ride a few roller coasters. Get your throws that way.
yeah. Oh, they could have had a fried turkey leg. It would have been great.
That's so good. See? Yeah. All they care about is having a little attention and being worshipped. They didn't have to have, like, all this over-the-top nonsense where people really were not respecting them anyway.
Who's a good old god? You're the good old god.
Gambling on the outcomes, not caring that they had to do a good job.
Ignoring the traditions.
Tradition.
And really, at the end of the day, isn't that the most important lesson of the day? Treat your old gods well, people.
Just give them some respect. What are you doing, partying? You think you've done everything you need to do? Ugh.
That's the spirit of Murder Day. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, go on.
I'm done.
No.
Are you?
Sorry. I was just trying to come up with the Murder Day equivalent of Boxing Day.
Flaying Day.
But anyway, that was Cabin in the Woods.
Yes, it was.
So, my point is, fuck horror. And I think that is all we need to say about that.
That's the lesson that we've learned today. And
Please
as
don't
always,
tweet me about it.
You will not be accepting tweets this time.
I will not.
As always, if you have an idea or prompt to submit, head on over to nostoryissacred.com/submission. Follow us on Twitter at nostoryiссacred, or send an email through contact@nostoryiссacred.com. Your hosts have been Alex McDonald, Brendan McDonald, Pippin McDonald, and Catherine Crichton. Editing for this episode done by Brendan. Transcript done by Ashley DaCosta. Art by Jay Wolf. Show notes and transcript are available at nostoryiссacred.com. Thanks for listening, everyone, and please rate, review, and subscribe to No Story is Sacred. You can also visit our Patreon page to support the show and get neat rewards at patreon.com/nostoryiссacred. See you next time when we talk about the 1995 classic film, Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat!
Okay. Until then, we're No Story is Sacred, and any story can be changed. I'm Kat.
I'm Brendan.
I'm Pippin.
And I'm Alex.
And we're
No Story is Sacred.